Hi everyone, I'm Ben. I'm in my fourth year here at Sheffield studying MA Politics and I'm running to be your next SU Education Officer. As we emerge from an education disrupted by the pandemic and ongoing strike action, I want to make sure that our student voices are at the heart of all educational decisions at our Students' Union. Whether it's as events like the Politics Society, Treasurer of Sheffield Labour Students, or my second year activism with XR and Sustainability Committee, I've gained valuable experience with the SU and I know how it can best represent your student interests. My experience across societies and my passion for a more engaged student community makes me the #1 candidate to promote educational transparency, inclusivity and well-being as your next Education Officer. If you vote Ben for education, I will prioritise. Consent and well-being are intrinsic to an inclusive education, more so following the recent spiking incidents across unis in late 2021. I want to make consent and well-being fundamental to educational policy at our Students' Union. I'll work with campaigns like Our Bodies Our Streets and Not on My Campus UK to challenge sexual violence and promote a culture of consent across our university. Crucially, I'll ensure that the university retains its recent pledge to stop the use of NDAs in silencing complaints about sexual harassment. I'll also maintain anti-spiking measures in all SU club nights and demand more nighttime lighting across campus to improve our student safety and educational well-being. I'll prioritise mental health in education, with extra support for students during exam season, with easily accessible and signposted support services. I believe that placing consent and well-being as key educational priorities can make an inclusive and transparent education that will work for you. As your Education Officer, I will expand equality, diversity and inclusion committees across all departments to promote equality in age, race, disability, gender and LGBTQ+ identities across all curriculums. Additionally, I'll encourage all departments to make use of our students' diverse experiences, promoting opportunities to diversify assessment topics and reading lists, and I will advocate for more inclusive representation amongst academic reps. I will work with national projects like Divest to Decolonise, lobbying to reallocate university resources toward decolonisation initiatives, and ensure the university maintains its partnership with Stonewall's Workplace Equality Index to ensure an intersectional and inclusive educational environment. The recent government decision to freeze the student loan repayment threshold will cost graduating students £113 more per year in repayments and a further £87 for postgrad students. As your Education Officer, I will work with national organisations to campaign against this freeze and any government proposals to reduce the threshold, which would be disastrous for the finance of students from all backgrounds. I'll continue the SU's proud history of campaigning against tuition fees and any proposed increases. I'll also improve transparency on how student fees are spent, with clearer online information and frequent open discussions between the uni and the students. Additionally, I'll expand payment plans for students, especially international students, introducing a flexible tuition fee instalment process so you can take back control over your own student finance. I will also ensure that our student rent is safeguarded, holding private landlords to account by improving services for students to rate landlords and the quality of the accommodation they provide. Transparency is key to a quality education. With strike action and current regularity on campus, I will insist that students continue to be communicated with openly and transparently. I will continue the SU's history of supporting all student views on strike action and push the university for better teaching conditions and workloads for staff throughout the year. Strike action has a significant impact on our educational experience, and it is vital that the student voice is vocalised throughout all efforts to secure a healthy educational environment for both staff and students. I want to enhance the communication between students, their academic reps and their departments to embed a responsive culture between student interests and the university. This transparent support will include social media accounts for academic reps, more frequent feedback opportunities for departments, improved dissertation support for final years, especially STEM students, with clear signposting to student services, and space out deadlines and flexible extension options. Notably, I'll push for earlier timetable releases to help all students coordinate work and caring responsibilities, acknowledging our student life beyond campus in educational decisions. Together, these transparent changes will prioritise your student well-being. The UK's Brexit-based departure from Erasmus and its replacement tutoring scheme has seen students spend months abroad waiting for crucial educational funding with little university support. As your education officer, I'll ensure that visa and touring support for study abroad students is significantly improved, calling for a permanent departmental role to deal with all issues. I will also push to narrow the degree award gap that sees white students disproportionately awarded higher grades compared to BAME students. I'll seek investment in digital learning and teaching resources, introducing subtitle features for online recordings, and a more inclusive and accessible education. Sustainability is a key issue in the current climate crisis, and I believe education plays a key role in how we combat climate issues and injustices. As your education officer, I will work with Sheffield's local MPs and campaigns like Teach the Future UK to integrate climate education across all curriculums for staff and students. I'll also encourage the teaching of green vocational skills in all departments, providing students with an educational skill set that will ease their transition out of higher education into a workforce suited to the realities of the climate crisis. I believe that my focus on consent, well-being, decolonisation, inclusivity, transparency and sustainability will ensure that our student voices are at the heart of all educational decisions at our Students' Union. Make sure to vote online between the 7th and the 9th of March. Vote now for educational transparency, inclusivity